Welcome into the stream, guys, and happy Monday to you as we are looking forward to a Week 11 Monday Night Football matchup tonight between Dallas and the Raiders. It should be a good matchup. Could have some points, but I'm very excited for tonight's matchup. And then we also have a lot of NBA games going on tonight. College basketball, a little bit of NHL as well. And so before we jump into all the DFS goodness, before we jump into PrizePicks, before we jump into Underdog and Better, I'd like to keep things very transparent with you guys here on the stream. And so I'm going to share with you my dashboard for the month of November and specifically talk about yesterday. If you're someone like me that bets every single day, there are going to be days in the year where you're going to have your best days ever, and then you're going to have some really bad days. Yesterday was by far the worst day that I've had sports betting in 2025. And I've been doing this now for 4 years using OddsJam software. Yesterday was a top 3 all-time worst day for me ever. So these things happen when it comes to sports betting. But to showcase to you guys, before yesterday, I was having an extremely strong November. Very, very successful November. And then yesterday, I won 5 bets out of 30. Would love to hear from you guys how yesterday went for you. Typically, anytime that I'm placing 25 bets or more, a bad day, I will return at least 55 to 70% of the amount of money that I wagered. I'll receive that back, meaning that I'll lose somewhere between maybe 45 to 30% of my bankroll that day. That's a bad day. Yesterday, I won 5 bets out of 30. So I like to be very transparent on these streams. This isn't indicative. One bad day doesn't mean that my whole process is toast. Also, one bad day reminds me that you want to make sure that you're betting within your means, using that 1 to 3% unit bankroll per sizing per play, because these days can happen. Mathematically, it is in the range. It's not something that I normally have ever seen. And like I've said, this is by far the worst day in 2025 that I've had. And this was a top 3 all time in the last 4 years. Terrible day for me. Anytime that I place 30 bets or more, I'll normally, for a bad day, I'll at least get back 30 to maybe 40. I'll lose 30 to 40% of my bankroll that day on what I wagered. This was just a historical bad day. So if it was a bad day for me, that means for my Dub Club people yesterday, it was a very bad day. We lost 10 units yesterday. It was terrible. So definitely want to hear from you guys and how it went for you, because I was on a coaching call for a prospective client earlier today. He mentioned that it was a bad day for him. Steve, what's going on, Irish? Steve said it was a really, really bad day. Definitely bad for Great Dom. Irish said lost $1,200 last week, lost $3K. Was up $2K in a month, now down $500. So I'm still up on the month, guys, but it was a very, very bad month. I did not think leaving this Dolphins game yesterday morning that I was going to then only win 4 of my next 29 bets. So it was a very, very bad day. Just anything bad that can happen did happen, but I'm still coming back ready to go for today. So just like to keep things transparent with you guys. It was a historical bad day for me yesterday. I do not expect to have back-to-back historically bad days. Again, just the law of averages, the law of numbers, and looking to bounce back definitely for today. Wilbo, evening to you, man. Seems the same for many of us. I got slaughtered yesterday. Worst 24 hours on OJ. I won 20% of my bets. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that, man. Definitely happens. Saints fan was poo-poo for you. Definitely stay, you stay the course, right? I mean, that's the biggest thing that I can glean from this is I look at this for the last 15 days and say, like, dude, your process isn't broken. This can happen, right? So when I look at this is just kind of part of it. Not making that doesn't mean that I feel all warm and fuzzy inside, but that's just how it is. Now, again, guys, those numbers don't reflect any DFS. If you guys tailed the 3-pick slip yesterday on Underdog, that was a cash. For anyone that tailed the 3-pick entry, the discount on, what was it? Was it SGA yesterday? On Better? We ended up cashing that because Justin Herbert and the Chargers played like garbage. You had the SGA boost. We cashed that on Better. So we had a couple winning slips. We're going to first focus on PrizePicks because we have a free Joker square. Joker to score 1 point or more. Let's look at Oscar Thompson, under 23.5. PRA, Pacers, Pistons. This looks very good over here. Someone has 2K up here on the Sharp Money tool, so we'll go ahead and grab that. There are 2 Thompsons, guys. So, obviously for anyone that's in Dub Club, and quite a few of you that are in the chat right now are in Dub Club, that's not what I'm looking for, not the results that I want. And we had a nice bounce back in Dub Club on Saturday and then just pissed it all away yesterday. So we're grabbing the under 23.5. Let's move quickly so I can share this with you guys. Colin Sexton, I'm cool with that, over 3.5 assists. Where's the assist? Looks like, did this get bumped? Yeah, this got bumped, so that sucks. How about Scotty? This is a little bit lower liquidity for me with Scotty. I'm not a huge fan of this one. I'm not going to lie. Let's take a look at the rest of the books. 132, 131. Okay, Bookmakers 126. This is fine. It's not ideal. Again, this is going to be taking advantage, though, of that free square. Power play entry. Can I bet this for 25? That's the question. Or 20. There we can. All right. Nice. So they let me, it's kind of random sometimes with PrizePicks. So if you guys want to copy this one, there we go. Nishiro, nice to hear that. Had an amazing day yesterday, waiting to come back to Earth this week. Good to hear that, Nishiro. At least somebody here made some solid money for sure. Yeah, no problem, Chris. We're going to definitely get to there. Yeah, I would say sharp money's been very solid for me across the board overall. Obviously, yesterday was pretty brutal, but I don't have the specific numbers. I haven't grabbed them recently. I normally don't grab them day in and day out, or sometimes I try to do it once a week, but normally I forget to do so. But thus far, I would say I've been very pleasantly surprised with the sharp money tool in terms of especially NHL shots on goal. Looks like we have a better play here. Obviously, guys, we'll share Pick 6. Pick 6 has a 30% boost, but it's a 4-pick entry, which I'll try to share my best 4 picks. I'm not going to take advantage of this boost because 4-pick entries, like we talked about before, it's not a very good payout. I should have all the leagues selected. No, I just have the NBA. Let's look at the NFL as well. Let's pull up hockey for the sharp money tool. I'm bringing this in within a minus 150, plus 140 range. Not much at the moment, but Karl Anthony Towns, somebody really wants the under 12.5. Better guys does have, I'm going to take a stab saying they probably have a discount. Yeah, they got Anthony Edwards or CeeDee Lamb. Lamb on his receiving yards, Anthony Edwards on his points. Either one's fine to rock. I'll probably go with Anthony Edwards. I like that just a bit more. And then let's go with Towns. We'll grab his under. So this is going to be for better right now, guys, and then we'll look for some underdog. They already bumped this to 12, so it's not 12.5, which stinks. So that's gone. Let me pull up better here. What do we got on the low holds tool? Tage Thompson over on points. These might be some boosts here, guys, to be honest with you. Dak over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Yeah, that's been bumped as well. Tage Thompson on player points. Unless this is a boost, let me take a look at this. Yeah, these are all boosted, and we can't play multiple boosted picks together. So that's the only thing here with better. I have to lock in these odds ranges a little bit differently. Let's go like, I don't know. Let's go 100 to like minus 130. Or did I mess this up? Minus 130 to like minus 140. Clearly I'm screwing this up. Let's see. Yeah, there's no results here. Okay. Not really surprising. If we go over the fantasy optimizer, so we're just focused on better at the moment. Can I have anything that can kind of put this together? Dak under on passing and rushing yards. I don't see anything from Pinnacle here, so I don't really like that. Under 30.5 PRA for Zubac. It's okay. I like this play a little bit more on John Collins. This is very good. On his over points and rebounds. 20.5. Bobby Portis, the over 5. It's okay. Rebounds and assists for Cooper Flag, 10.5. That's actually very good, though, very good to FanDuel. Mavericks under 10.5. Okay, we're going to grab this one, guys. I don't know if they'll let me play this. This is my perfect entry. We got the Anthony Edwards boosted play. You could also do this with CeeDee Lamb if you wanted to. I just prefer to take Edwards. I feel like there's a little bit more consistency with Anthony Edwards. So I'll drop that up. Steve, I mean, you can go over 3%, but to me, it's you know, that to me, everything's based off line movement. Line movement's everything. If I see a sharp book that moves, that's what's most important to me. So the EV percentage doesn't really matter as much to me, because if I see a Pinnacle or a FanDuel move in a certain direction, depending on the player prop odds, that's more impactful for me. Sharp line movement from a sports book tells me much more, a bigger indicator than the EV percentage. Now, if you guys are doing this on your phone, I understand if you can't view that. Let's go look at Dabble for a second here while I'm so if you guys are using your cell phones, I know that you, or at least at the moment, you can't view the line movement. So then typically on a day like today for the NBA, anything that's 5% or higher is a good bet. But I really heavily lean on line movement. You know, when I'm giving out plays on Dub Club, it's based off of line movement. Or if there's just a massive gap. I like to see a lot of line movement within the last 600 to an hour or two from a sharp book. So that's more important to me than maybe just kind of setting basic parameters and basic filters. But if you are just using your cell phone, then for player props 5% or above, for mainline markets, 1% or higher would be what I would say. Yeah, Joshua. I mean, I use it not for basketball. I use it for FanDuel for NBA player props. For college basketball, it's different. For main markets, it's different. So, all of these markets, guys, all of these, and again, this is just for me betting for a long time, kind of what I believe. You might find some different opinions from different people, but that's kind of what I like to go after. So for anyone that's using Dabble, very good questions asked by you guys. Derek Queen, I'm cool with any of these plays. If you want to go after this. Nicola, I'm fine with this. Probably have the most confidence in Nicola because FanDuel and Pinnacle have similar odds. So that's my number one play here. Zion under points and rebounds. He is coming back, guys. I don't know if he's going to be on a minutes restriction. Make sure we got to check out Underdog NBA. Make sure you guys are following that for the most up-to-date odds and what's going on. I'm going to pull that up here at the moment. See what's going on. But there's nothing. I'm gonna probably get off the topic here in just a second. But there is nothing more that really keeps me up at night, knowing that we didn't have a good day in Dub Club. I'm able to bet probably about 90 to 95% of the bets that I give out on Dub Club, guys. But there is nothing that bothers me more than knowing if we're not hitting on those picks, because those are what mean the most to me. So last night it's part of the reason why I didn't sleep, why there wasn't a stream this morning. I was very irked by last night for sure. Looks like we got Stefan Castle ruled out for Tuesday. Sadiq Bey is downgraded to questionable, which doesn't look good for the Pelicans. It means he might not play. Bogdanovich is going to play. Paul George is upgraded to probable. This is all within the last 20 minutes, guys. O'Shea is ruled out for Monday. That's what we have. Harden, Dunn, Sanders, Collins, Zubac are going to be the starting lineups for the Clippers tonight. All right, so these Dabble plays, Bogdanovich, we know he's going to play, so his under, again, it's very good on Pinnacle. The under 10.5 here, I like this. I'm okay with this. Grab Bogdanovich under 12.5. I like that a lot. I definitely like the Nicola play, and then Chris Dunn over 2.5 rebounds. Again, FanDuel doesn't really have odds for this, but it's fine. Let's take a look at Underdog on the sharp money total, see if we can find anything on Underdog. When I refresh this at the moment, this is very disappointing. Maybe my odds ranges, let me just remove the odds range. Does that really change anything? No, it doesn't. It's really disappointing to see for player props that we just have 4 plays right now. Yeah, this is kind of depressing because there's a lot going on. Let's go over to mainline markets for a second here. We're going to kind of clear off the DFS books, guys. I'm going to spend a little time here with Underdog for a second, and then we're just going to kind of jump over, look at pick six, and then we're going to jump into just the sharp money tool for player props. So again, you can play 6-man entries on Underdog. I prefer to play 3-mans with no insurance. Just kind of my preference. Less variance that you're going to deal with. And like, again, guys, variance can come for you no matter what. I was placing 30 straight wagers yesterday and got rinsed. So if you're playing 3-mans, you're playing 5-mans and 6-man parlays, you can see even more variance, extreme more variance than what I just had with straight wagers. Again, the Zion play is 30 cents off to FanDuel. So I'm more than happy to grab that. This is under on his points and rebounds. Going to have to move quickly. Yeah, they already bumped this. It's 23.5. What a surprise. Harden, under on his points, rebounds, and assists. Not a guy that I like to attack. Variance. I'd rather go after a Chris Dunn. You can take his under PRA and his over on his rebounds, guys, on Dabble and still cash both. That's definitely within the range of outcomes. Bridges over on points. It's not great to Pinnacle, but it's very good. I'm willing to take the average there and say, let's go after Miles Bridges for the Hornets over 19.5. Who else do we have here? SGA over PRA. I never mind that. The only thing that I'm a little nervous about, guys, and again, this is just how it goes sometimes, the Thunder could literally blow out the Pelicans after 3 quarters, and SGA sits the rest of the game. This is definitely within the range of outcomes here. I'm going to share this with you guys, though. This is a 3-pick entry, no insurance over here on Underdog. Mike, what's going on, man? How are you? Yeah, it's on. 46 and 75 yesterday. Worst day I had all year. Yeah. It's kind of one of those things. And it's kind of a typical thing, guys. Obviously, most of you guys use OddsJam. Not everyone does. Not everyone's on the same plays. But it's kind of like if everyone's on, if we all lose, we all lose. And when we all win, we all win. So one of those types of deals. Let's go ahead and put this together. Irish, if Collins bumped on better, then we would go with, we talked about Oscar Thompson. I'm fine with taking Bogdanovich under on his points and rebounds if you wanted to grab that. Totally fine with that. Steve, I always use worst case. Unless it's long shots, then I use additive. I made a video, guys, on the OddsJam channel breaking down all the DVig methods and what they mean. I'll try to share that with you guys if I can find it quickly. Let's look at pick 6. And 3-man entries I'm starting off with. I'm already kind of depressed what I'm seeing on the board here. Siakam, like this, over on his points. Javonte Green plays for the Pistons, so is under on his points and rebounds. Kuz, over points and rebounds. I like all those. Can I grab these? I'll try to move quickly here. No, they already locked his points. They already locked Siakam's points. Let's still try to grab the others. We're looking at the under points and rebounds. Less. Cool. And then we're looking at Kuz. We're looking at his over points and rebounds. Cool. What else? Then for some reason, FanDuel's odds just disappeared on Javonte. Collins under points. DiVincenzo, I like a little bit more on his points and assists. Under 17.5. The fact now that Green, there's no more odds here. For the odds have disappeared for FanDuel. Does not. I don't like that at all. I like the Kuzma play. I like the DiVincenzo play. Landry's okay. I mean, I'm not expecting. If Landry goes off like he did a couple games ago, that would be insane. But over 2.5 threes, they already bumped that. Aaron Gordon, not really. Yeah, it's hard out in the streets right now here. It's hard. They already bumped Kuzma too. Dude, hard out here on pick 6 right now. They're just bumping things left and right. Siakam play came back. Great. We can't get the Kuzma play anymore. Then they just bump Siakam now. Okay. So, yeah, at the moment here, guys, I'm just not going to force this because there isn't much. Very, very disappointing. Let's look at player props. Let's go for all 3 leagues. Let's select all the sports books. What do we got? Craig Porter Jr. As I'm trying, let me see if I can find this really quick on OddsJam to share with you guys. All right, I think it's one of these 2 videos that talks about and goes in depth on the DVIG settings. Must have got fired, MP. They must have. I don't know. I can't remember which one it is. And you got to bear with me here, guys. I've made a couple hundred videos. And so it's one of these 2 videos, I believe, that I talk in depth about the DVIG settings. This play here on Craig Porter Jr., honestly, playing this on Props Builder might not be the worst thing in the world. Somebody wants this at minus 105 odds. Somebody has put up $3,000, Bucks Cavs. Honest to God, I don't know which team he plays for. But we can get this at 7 cents off at Props Builder, which I'm totally fine with grabbing. Totally fine with this. So, again, guys, I'm going to go over to BetOnline and I'm going to bet this. This is almost at the very end of my max in terms of parameters that I would accept a wager for. But someone put $3,000 up, and they want this at minus 105. If you can get this on Hard Rock or on Sports Zeno, which I doubt very many people on the stream can because they're probably limited, I'm still fine going over to Props Builder and getting this at minus 112 odds. Bucks Cavs, Craig Porter. He plays for the Cavs. This is assists, excuse me, not threes. And getting this at a pretty decent price. I can only bet $35 on BetOnline. Well, then we're going to go over to another prop builder book, and we're going to grab this a little bit more. So I can grab a little bit more on this. Max Christie plays for the Mavs. What do we got here? And Max Christie under 2.5 assists. Somebody wants this at minus 103 odds. Unfortunately, yeah, we can't get this anywhere but parlay play. Goalie for either the Oilers or the Sabres. I want to say he plays for the Sabres. Over 25.5 saves. Oilers, Sabres. Somebody wants this at minus 110. We really can't get this anywhere else at a price similar. ESPN bets minus 118 on FanDuel. That's a bit of a stretch. Again, 7-8 cents, guys, is the most I'm willing to go on this. But be careful with FanDuel because FanDuel might only accept this wager if it's in regulation. So if this game goes to overtime, remember, house rules, guys, different books have different rules. I'm probably just going to stay away from this just because I don't fully remember the house rules over on FanDuel. Let's see. Craig Porter, what can I bet over here at? All right, $70. Okay, I can bet 70 on my bookie. And then I can bet 35 on BetOnline. So that's what, $105 I can get this at? There we go. So I'm in for $105 here, guys, using multiple different props builders to grab this Craig Porter Jr. play. So let me throw this in here. 112, and we're in for 105. Okay. Let's refresh this page once more. Again, if you don't have access to Hard Rock, that's okay, guys. With this tool, I'm willing to go within a range of one another. So Zion under 5.5 rebounds. This is just really an EV play to Hard Rock. This is 18 cents off to FanDuel. It's 14 cents off to Pinnacle, which is fine. But there's no other sports book that's offering a price this good. That can sometimes be the problem. Somebody wants this at minus 104 odds. The issue is you can get this at minus 110 on Bovada, okay, but I'm not going to go over to Props Builder. That's 11 cents off. That's too far out of my range. Donovan Mitchell, under on his threes. Someone wants this at plus 110. Naturally, I don't need to say it, guys. If you see a purple logo, Hard Rock's a really easy book. If you and your girl want to go, or your wife are looking to go for a trip, try to find a spot where there's a Hard Rock casino, and you should have a really, really good time using the software. Getting this at plus 110 odds, again, Sportzino, Hard Rock are really the only ones. Where else? Bovada plus 105. A little outside my range to go hit this up on Bet 105. Pinnacle at plus 104 odds. It's 11 cents. It's just a little outside of it. So I probably will just stay away. I like to try to set rules, guys, in terms of 7-8 cents off. Anything beyond that in terms of what the professional bettor wants, which I believe is the pro bettor wants this at. They want it at plus 110. Honestly, I should probably bet this on Bet 105 because that's only 6 cents. So that's not too shabby. We can get this. Again, guys, having access to all these different sports books creates more opportunities. Bet 105 copies Pinnacle's odds. Also, we can look at line history here and take a look and see who's moving. Okay? We can see Pinnacle moved a lot. FanDuel moved a lot. They were up at plus 114. They moved to minus 108. And bookmakers on the same page as these two. Pinnacle's a little off here. They dropped off a cliff. They jumped back up here. I'm still fine with going after this because I think that FanDuel and bookmaker together, two sharp books. I have no problem going after that. So Donovan Mitchell under on his threes. It's just going to be a little sprinkle here. Probably just going to wager to win $100, or in this case, I'll wager $100 to make a little bit of money. So plus 104 odds. It's just a really good play. All right, so we're just going to wager $100 here on this play, and we're on his under. And the idea here, guys, is if you're trying to decipher the sharp money tool, I'd rather you wager less money on these plays, but wager on more of these plays so that you can gain a little bit better idea of, your historical data, your history. Instead of going hard in the paint on just a couple, I'm always going to lean on the side of wagering less money per play, but wagering on more plays. Hunter under on his assists. Somebody has $2,600. They want this at plus 110 odds. Outside of Hard Rock, can we go over anywhere to grab this? Not really. Not really. So I would just move on from this play. LaMelo on his points and assists. Yeah, not really. This is a parlay play. Benedict Mathurin over 4.5 rebounds. Obviously, Fanatics is easy. Somebody wants this at plus 113 odds. When I'm looking at the board here, plus 110 odds on Prop Builder, guys. I like that. Benedict Mathurin over 4.5 rebounds. Let's take a look at the line history here. FanDuel's up here now. Okay. This is interesting. Is FanDuel at plus 114? It looks like they were. I don't know if they still are. Let's peep this. Yeah, definitely was. Yeah, Mitch. Yeah, man. I went over the very beginning of the stream and I showed the results and I talked about it. So I don't know if you're just a little late tuning in, but I went over it pretty extensively. So just rewind back and you'll be able to see that at the very beginning. Again, guys, if you want to know my results and you want to follow it extensively, I would just say to follow me. Here's where the link. You can follow me. Put this in your notes somewhere and bookmark it, and you can just come over and see my dashboard. That's one thing that you can do. For those of you that are curious on if I'm doing well or if I'm not doing well, take a look at that over there. Okay, so let me just double check this over here on FanDuel. We got a profit boost on some things also, guys, on FanDuel, so we want to take a look at that. Looking at the Pistons, we're looking at Mathurin. This game starts in like 30 to 40 minutes. We're looking on his over 4.5 rebounds. And yeah, so let's see, alt rebounds. They don't have it as an option, guys, for you to grab this because we're looking for him for 5. The line's at 3.5, and they don't have it as an alt. So I'm just going to go over to Props Builder and bet this right now with Benedict Mathurin. Over 4.5 at plus 110. They just moved it to plus 104, which sucks. Let's refresh this once more. And then we're going to head over to the arbitrage tool as well to spend a little time over there. Where are we at here? Let's come back up to the top. We talked about Craig Porter. How about Mitchell Robinson? Ooh, this is one that Pinnacle, does Bet105 have this? They do. It's not quite as good, but Bracco, I could hit this up on Bracco. I could hit this up on DraftKings, ESPN. Mitchell Robinson under 7.5 rebounds. Knicks in the Heat. Okay, Pinnacle's moving a little bit. I don't like to see this movement, right? Minus 108 30 minutes ago. They're up to minus 103. It's not something I typically like to see. The book that I'm looking to place the wager on, I don't like to see that they're moving. That's something I'm not crazy about. But, oh man, but to my other sharp books, this looks really good. And again, they have similar lines, the ESPN Bet and DraftKings. Wouldn't mind hitting this up. I wouldn't mind going after this play. Under 7.5 boards. I could do this on DraftKings. I could do this on Bracco. I'm getting better price on Bracco. I haven't placed a bet over on Bracco yet, but I did create an account finally over there. So let me go ahead and log in over there because I would love to hit this up. And then what else do we have showing here? I can get this at 1 cent better over at 4CX, which is fine. Let me log in. And again, guys, getting a slightly better price. I could bet this on ESPN Bet. I'm already quite limited on ESPN Bet now. So let's look at some player props. Mitchell Robinson and the under 7.5. Again, the thing here with Bracco here, guys, don't know if I'm allowed to show this or not. I don't know. We'll find out. YouTube will either give me a slap on the wrist or not. It's a max wager of $250. So I'll go in for, I like it. I don't love it. I'm a little concerned with Pinnacle. So I'm going to go in for just $125. And looks like we got it. Yeah, we did. So $125 here on Bracco. You could play this on DraftKings at a slightly worse price. But we got this at minus 107. And I would have bet this over at Bet 105. I'm just getting a slightly better price over here. So there we go. On some arbitrage plays. Let's refresh this page. Let's see what we have cooking over here. Okay. Hornets team total threes made. This is a Sportsino bet specifically. Like that. For you guys that are looking at this play here between Kenneth Murray on Bovada and Props Builder, I've mentioned this before. Bovada also has Props Builder on their sports book. So if you are going to bet the over, this play is created in-house by Bovada. I would bet this over on Bovada. I would not bet this under on Bovada's Props Builder. I would go to another sports book to bet this under. Let's not maybe show our action on Bovada that we're betting the over and the under. That's just not very smart. So bet this over on Bovada and then go over to Bet Online or MyBookie or BUSR or XBet, Bet Now. Go bet this under over there on their Props Builder. That's what I would definitely take a look at. Also, you can hit this up on DraftKings and Props Builder as well. Instead of getting an 8.33% return, it's over 7.5%. This is a very good return on your investment. Really, really solid. Trendon Watford. Again, when you click into this play, guys, OddsJam's automatically going to start a 3-second timer, checking these odds to make sure that they're legit. I don't know. Looks like Bookmaker just changed this now. I don't know. I guess Onyx is back to copying DraftKings odds. I don't, to be honest, guys, Onyx is kind of like your crazy girlfriend or ex-girlfriend. Like, you never know, like, what they're doing or what's going on. They're just always changing their mind, like, every other day. So there was a stretch last week that Onyx was copying FanDuel's odds on more plays that I saw because they'd been copying DraftKings odds for a long time. Now it looks like they're kind of back on DraftKings. I don't know. I really don't know. Hard to say. I mean, Mark, the Sharp Money tool, man, the easier answer to your question is this video that I made on OddsJam about 2 weeks ago. I would just watch this because this goes in depth. That'll be able to give you a better breakdown instead of me taking the next maybe 15 minutes and breaking down the tool, because I made that video specifically to kind of showcase to you how I use it and what I specifically look for. So I would just highly suggest watching that video, and if you have any questions after that, then just DM me and then we can kind of have a private conversation. Just for the interest of everybody else here. That's definitely what I would do. All right, so we have a lot of things cooking here. We talked about Kenneth Murray. Third quarter total points, not something, a market that I would typically wager on when it comes to this. but I don't know if this is real. If you guys are trying to execute this, I would highly advise submitting the bet first on Onyx. A lot of times with Onyx, guys, the bet that you submit, they change the odds, they change the pricing. It's really difficult to know if this is legit. That's my one big pain in the ass gripe about Onyx, is that it's not always transparent that the odds there are actually what you're getting. So understanding when you're arbitrage betting, if you see the odds are on Bookmaker and on Onyx, submit the bet first on Onyx. And if it goes through, then go and smash this on Bookmaker. You could do this on FanDuel as well, right? We know that FanDuel's most likely, between FanDuel and Onyx, I know that FanDuel's odds are true on their sports book. Onyx can't say the same thing. Not as trustworthy. Just like your buddy that says, hey, man, I'll be at your house in the morning and then we can go golfing. And then you're like, yeah, dude, there's like a 70% chance you're not going to show up on time. So that's kind of the same thing here with Onyx. Just want to make sure you keep that in mind. Same thing here with Kenneth Murray, guys. This is kind of a play that on Props Builder, this is the EV play. So $200 over here on ProfitX. Go lock this in, then go over to Props Builder. More books that you have, the more opportunities. You can see that my board right here, we're scrolling forever, and there's a lot of plays that are over 3% edge. This is just a great play to go after it. Yeah, Evie, I mean, it's a good question, man. I don't overthink it. Listen, guys, at the end of the day, it's a good question you ask, Aiden, but at the end of the day, you're going to get limited, period. Doesn't matter if you EV bet, if you live EV bet, if you pre-match ARB, pre-game ARB, you live ARB, you're going to get limited, period. If you live bet, period, you'll be able to get more money down over the course of the long run, right? But the most important thing is making money. So just make sure that you make money. If you're paying for OddsJam or you're paying for a competitor's software, make sure that you make that money to pay off that subscription. I've been in that same position where I kind of know better now, and I want to make sure that I'm as efficient as possible as I am with these plays. But all of these games here are going to start in like less than 2 hours. So this is much better going after these ARBs than waiting for locking in an ARB at like 7:30 in the morning when the game doesn't start until 7:30 at night. So go make your money. Please don't forget that. And then once you get limited, guys, that's when you got to change your strategy up. But just try to get down as much money as you can responsibly and make some money here on these books, because there's definitely a lot of money that can be made from here. Paralysis by analysis, or just kind of knowing what's up. I've been there before. Looking at some anytime touchdown scores here for the NFL. A little underwhelming here. These are all unders. I normally don't bet unders. Javonte, this is a circa play. Honestly, you could get this at ProfitX or NoVig if you wanted to. This is an ARB to Pinnacle. You could bet the unders here. I don't bet a lot of unders, but if you are on circa, would love to hear from anyone in the chat if you've bet unders on anytime touchdown scores, how it's went for you. But you could do that if you wanted to. Ashton Genty, same kind of deal here. Not much going on. Looks like I'm looking at FanDuel. We got profit boosts for same game parlays. If I'm over on DraftKings, what's the boost here? What's the promo? Looks like I got logged out. Let me log back in. Again, guys, other things that you can do for your account health that I think can really help out. Here's something that I would do to help with your account health. If I'm on DraftKings and I see this play for Big Cat, right? I see this 4-leg parlay touchdown. I like to play these for like $5. And I know they're going to lose and I know they suck. But for account health purposes, these predetermined parlays, if you want to play for $1 to $5, totally cool with that. Or if you want to just bet your opinions, right? Because we know these are terrible plays. These are all terrible plays. But go bet these, right? Go bet this play here. Pull this play up. I know it's terrible, right? And just say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to bet $5 on this. And it looks like I got some bonuses available, which is really nice. I'm just going to bet this for $5, maybe for my account health, right? It's terrible. But for account health purposes, if I'm wagering $100 to $300 a play, guys, I'm willing to donate $5. Maybe we get lucky. Maybe it hits. But that's something that I definitely want to take a look at. Cowboys, Raiders, 20% SGP boost. So those are just little things that I probably haven't mentioned before. Parlay boost, nice to see that. Touchdown boost, okay. Where, if you guys can go find some plays, some of these pre-match already created parlays for you, just play those for $1 or up to $5 max. Just helps with account health, right? They suck, but that's kind of the whole point of it. So let's look at some maybe anytime touchdown scores here. Let me just open this event page up. And there's a 3-leg SGP boost. We can maybe see if we can do some anytime touchdown scores. I'm looking for DraftKings. I'm looking for FanDuel. And I'm looking for them to be in the bright green. Okay. Now, I normally like to go after plays that have Pinnacle's odds. So, Alec Bachman, no offense, bro. It's okay. It looks decent to bookmaker. So, I'm just going to scroll here until I stop and see something that's in bright green for either FanDuel or DraftKings with Pinnacle's odds. That's really what I'm looking for. Thus far, we're coming up empty. Okay. Anything at all. Yeah, Michael Mayer, that would be a decent play with the boost. Aha, Trey Tucker. Decent. It's okay. It's not fantastic, but with a boost on FanDuel, this could be something. Trey Tucker, I don't mind. Tyler Lockett. This is a much better play on Tyler Lockett. I'm much more interested in Tyler Lockett than Trey Tucker. Obviously, his connection with Geno, you can't deny that. So that's a FanDuel play, 100% Tyler Lockett, anytime touchdown score. If you guys want to find out if this is EV or not, okay, remember, we're receiving, this is the one thing you have to remember. We're receiving odds of plus 420 on FanDuel. We come to the top, click on this show no vig odds, right? We need to know what the no vig odds are to see if we can beat this. I type on Tyler Lockett. The no vig odds for Pinnacle is plus minus 362. Anything above plus 362 is EV. We know that we're receiving these odds at plus 420 on FanDuel. So if you come over to the calculator and you come to a Kelly calculator, and you're also going to need to open up an odds converter calculator, and you're saying, all right, we're getting odds of plus 362. That's the fair. But I don't know what plus 362 is in terms of a win percentage. Well, that's 21.65%. This is all data-based, guys, in terms of how you figure out if you have a plus EV play or not. I bet with Quarter Kelly, we're getting plus 420 odds on FanDuel. Our fair win percentage is plus 362 or 21.65%. Well, according to Pinnacle, this is a 12.5% EV edge play for Tyler Lockett anytime touchdown score. So guess what? We're going to go bet Tyler Lockett anytime touchdown score. I think that I should bet like $185. And so this is how we do it. We come down here. We say, give me Mr. Lockett. I don't know if you guys have watched any football this year, but the Cowboys' pass defense is absolute garbage. And then what's the max wager size? $2,300. And I'm on a 10% limited FanDuel account, guys. 10% limits. That's fantastic. So we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to bet 175 because that's close to what I should be betting on based off my bankroll. And there we go. $175 on Tyler Lockett anytime touchdown score. Like that. They're telling me I should have bet 187. It's fine. And so we'll come back up to the top here. Remove the no vig fair odds. And again, I'm getting this at plus 420 odds. This is a very good play compared to FanDuel. You can see Pinnacle dropped off a cliff. Oh, yeah, baby. That's something else that we love to see. A sharp sports book that moves in the last 40 minutes in a steep direction. Pinnacle was at plus 387. They moved over 40 cents to plus 341. So that's Tyler Lockett over on FanDuel. I can't remember if I put this in or not. So if I didn't, we'll make sure we do that, even if I added it twice. I would go bet that now, guys, because it's probably going to move. And again, Bookmaker is at plus 371. This is just a great play on FanDuel. Not quite as good on Trey Tucker. So I don't have anything really to give you guys in terms of the same game parlay. But there we go. If you guys want to have some fun, we can have some fun in terms of like putting on some long shot parlays for like your $5, $10 boost. You know, bet on maybe George Pickens over 110 receiving yards. Maybe Trey Tucker goes off. You know, a couple different things there to have some fun. All right, let's go back over to the EV tool. Hopefully you guys, can understand that breakdown a little bit. It's all about just figuring out what the fair value is. Let's take a look at some anytime NHL goal scorers. My favorite market to bet over on FanDuel. Two results. Okay. Tage Thompson, David Pasternak. This is just circa only. Anything that's above plus 117 is EV. A plus 120 over here on FanDuel. This is about a 1.25% percentage EV edge play. Not great on Pasta. A little bit better on Tage Thompson. So I'll sprinkle this for maybe $100 over here, Tage Thompson. So let's go ahead and grab this. Sabres, and he's an elite goal scorer, guys. So this is a guy that you definitely want to go after. Tage at 150, and we'll go in for $100 here. Even on a limited FanDuel account, guys, I've been able to have some good success. There is that bet over there on FanDuel. And let me share that Tyler Lockett play with you guys as well. Okay. Again, if you guys have Circa, you'll have a very, if you're like Irish and live in a state that has Circa, you'll have a great time betting anytime goal scores over there. Okay. Well, let's take a look at some NFL player props and see what we have going on. Again, if you have questions, guys, don't hesitate to email me, DM me. Let's kind of tighten this up a little bit more. Minus 150, plus 130. Let's go with Pinnacle. Let's go with worst case. Let's look at, and again, guys, the only reason I don't use the custom EV Edge formula plays, that formula, is because it just takes too long to load. It really just does. Let's look at some player props. If you guys want access to Dub Club, I promise, well, I should, promise you that we're not going to have as bad of a day today as we did yesterday. It's just, I'm very confident in the odds and the range, and it's not going to work out that way. I will send it over to you guys. And also, don't hesitate to ask any questions, any and all. Let's look at what we have here. CeeDee Lamb, $19. Go bet that on ProfitX, guys. There's $19. That's a great play. Javonte, outside of FanDuel, or Fanatics, can we get this anywhere else? Fanatics just moved. So on no vig, but it's not nearly as good. So let's hide this play. Trey Tucker, over 3.5 catches. This looks very good to Ballybet. This looks great to Bookmaker and to Pinnacle. Over 3.5 catches. Now they're moving up a bit, but let's look. Oh yeah, Pinnacle's moving down. Bookmaker moved down a little bit. I'm totally in on this, guys. Bet Rivers, Ballybet. Grab this whenever you can. Let me pull up my notes over here. There we go. So if you guys want to check out Dub Club, the full card is out right now. Here it is. There we go, Irish. Love seeing that, man. Trey Tucker, over 3.5 catches. It's only over 2.5% edge, but I really, really like this play. And obviously this game isn't about, like an hour and a half, 90 minutes or so. And so we're going to go ahead and put a decent wager on this. Again, guys, the Cowboys defense, especially passing, they suck. And while Tyler Lockett's probably going to get some looks, I would have to think that Trey Tucker's going to be, he's going to be out there a ton. And we got to go over to receiving, not passing. Receiving yards, total receptions. Can I bet 150 on it? Bingo, I can. Nice. So we're in for a 150 spot here over on Bet Rivers. And there we go. Geno over on his passing touchdowns. Over 1.5. Let's take a look at this. Again, we can just kind of remove most of these so we can just keep one Bet Rivers. I don't like the fact, I don't really like the fact that Bet Rivers is climbing in movement so recently, very recently. In the last 30, 40 minutes, they went from minus 104 to plus 104. I don't like that movement, so I'm just going to stay away from Geno. Geno under on his passing attempts. ESPN Bet Fanatics. Little movement there from Bookmaker. Minus 116 to minus 131. That's a good movement of 15 cents. But that was a while back. This play is okay. I'm not super excited about this play either. And then everything else is a little bit too low for my liking. Just too low in general. Ooh, we got some new ones. Dak, under on his passing attempts. DraftKings. This looks really good. Nice movement there from Bookmaker a while back. Pinnacle moved a little bit. DraftKings has moved up about 4 hours ago. The under 35.5. I don't mind going after this play at all. I'm going to go over here on his passing props. And let's look at pass attempts. They're only letting me bet. Where's the... Why on DraftKings right now can I not bet Dak over-unders? I'm on passing props. Give me some over-unders here. Here we go. Under 35.5, guys. I don't know if I'm going to bet 220 on this. Let me put me back up here in the top. All right, so I only got about $145 in this account. Let's go in for a 110 spot just so I can make about $100. There we go. So we're going to grab this. I like it. I don't love it, but it's all right. We talked about Trey Tucker. Okay, and then that Thornton play popped up, and then it just disappeared. Let's look at some NBA plays. Let's look at some NBA FanDuel plays. And let's go and take a look at this. So player props for the NBA. Looking at FanDuel, let's go a percentage of, let's start with 5. Anything that's 5% or above. Let's see what we have. First TD, Gary. We didn't go through the first TD market, to be fair. I'll have to take a look at that here in just a minute. Aaron, good question. Not really sure. Sam? Any other similar tools to OddsJam from where it isn't available? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you could expand on that in terms of like other softwares that you would use when OddsJam's not available. Most of these plays, guys, you're going to see my board right now littered with Bovada, Sportsino, and Hard Rock. I do like to open these plays up from time to time to see if there's any other sports book that's available that we can get these plays at. Typically, that's not the case. So for Chet Holmgren, this is really elite on Bovada. It's also great on Hard Rock. Anywhere else, we can't bet it. And that's why for most of my Dub Club users, for those of you that are on here, I don't give out really Bovada plays because I could give you enough plays just Bovada alone, but it's very difficult for sure. Kalkbrenner under on his points, Sportzino. So I just quickly peruse through these guys. I'll stop if I see like another book that's a popular domestic book that everybody can bet this on. This is actually pretty good at Bracco. I should go bet this on Bracco for Norman Powell over on his threes. What's plus 132 mean for me? What's that? It's 5% edge. I like that. FanDuel move? Not really. Pinnacle moved. Ooh, I don't like seeing that. Never mind. No, I don't like that movement from Pinnacle. No, thank you. Russell. And what you're just going to notice is that a lot of the soft books just kind of align with one another. I mean, no one else is offering plus odds on this play for Derek Queen other than Hard Rock. Like, give me a break, dude. So that's just too easy. Scotty Barnes on his steals. On the over 1.5, FanDuel. So here's a problem. Like, it's 32 cents off to FanDuel, which is great. But the problem is, like, there isn't a lot of movement. But I would still bet this on Ballybet, guys, if you have this. Obviously, Bet Rivers, it's slightly worse price, 4 cents. But if you have a Canby Sportsbook, go grab that. Isaiah Joe, no other sportsbook other than Bovada is offering that. A lot of onesie books, guys. You can kind of see why Bovada is so goated for betting NBA player props. Con, that's why I just kind of skip a lot of these plays because I know that most of you guys probably can't grab this. Con over on his assists. Oh, this is what we want to see. So take a screenshot of this, guys. This is like exactly what we want to see in terms of me going through player props and having confidence on a play. As you can see, FanDuel, when I say dropped off a cliff, they dropped off a cliff. They were at minus 122. They're now at minus 170. That is a massive, massive, massive movement. So Con Knuppel over 2.5 assists. This is really just a Canby Sportsbook play. You could grab this at ProfitX. It's not as good. It's okay. This game starts in like 30 minutes, which is ideal. This is like the ideal find where we see FanDuel moves a ton. And then we can just go grab this over here. Con, go over minus 125. I can only bet this for $25. Oh, man. That's just a dagger in the heart. NBA player props. I can only bet this for $25 on Bet Rivers. That just sucks. Oh, does that suck? You're always going to get limited first, guys, on player props. Still a lot of value on Bet Rivers. I can still bet a lot of other stuff, but they're kind of on to me, I guess, on NBA player props. Dak moved to 122. There we go. Got some closing line value over there. For Bracco, I believe it does. It's one of those. I appreciate you asking that, Mark. It's one of those like sweepstakes books, and it seems to be the case. But I've tried, and I appreciate you asking. I'm trying to figure out, though, where. Yeah. I don't think I have one, to be honest. There just doesn't, I don't see anything on here that says, hey, invite people and like get something. So I would just highly advise just sign up for it and take advantage of it. Let's refresh this page. I'm going to remove some of these soft books at the moment here, guys, because it just seems to be they're just so onesies. You guys don't need this stream to be able to find those types of plays. Let's take a look here. Ronald Holland. This is probably stale. I wouldn't bet this. Jaime Jaquez. Can I get this over at Bet 105? Plus 118, which is decent. What would be a plus 118, man? That'd be 8%. That'd be really good. Let's see the line movement here. I can get this on 4CX at plus 124. Oh, yeah, I'd bet that all day long. Let's take a look at this. Ooh, a little bit of movement here from FanDuel. They moved 11 cents. So I'm going to go over to 4CX to bet this, guys. It looks like it just moved a little bit. It's moving again. You probably can get this. You can get this at Bet 105. ESPN bet, you can grab this. No VIG, obviously. You can get this at a good price. Let me move over here and grab 4CX. Again, this is an exchange that's out here in Arizona. For any of my AZ people, make sure you check them out. They're just awesome. I need to really use them more and more. They're one of the few. Yeah, it's moving, baby, but that's okay. I'm just going to try to grab this right now on Jaquez. This is what, over 5.5 assists. It already moved to plus 107, so I'm not going to grab it at plus 107. That's a shame. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, it's on Bracco? Wait a minute. Is there life? Someone just posted it at plus 129 over here, so I'm going to come back and grab this. No doubt. All right, we're in at plus 129 on 4CX. And I grabbed this for a 150 spot. A lot of movement here on Jaquez. Could have grabbed it for more. Quentin Grimes, under 24.5 PRA. One of my favorite categories to bet on. Oh, same thing. Look at FanDuel. They moved a ton. Go grab this on a Canby Sportsbook. Quentin Grimes, I don't know if he plays. I think he plays for the Sixers. They're taking on the Clippers. Games are just getting started here pretty soon. Looks like this game might be going on right now live or very, very soon. A little early. This is a little late for me normally betting this. I won't lie. But if you can bet it now, you can bet it anywhere. It's at minus 110. $33. Man, that's just heartbreaking. It's over on Bet Rivers for betting player props. I'm in for $33. That's a shame. So we got some games that are starting up very soon, but there we go. Let's take a look at, there you go. There you go, Mark. Let's take a look at the first touchdown score in this Cowboys game. I will be streaming tomorrow morning, guys. I promise you that, 9 a.m. Eastern. We're going to be looking at some main lines for college football and NFL for the following weekend. Looking at some main lines just in general for the major sports. First touchdown score. So I really lean on Bookmaker here or Circa as kind of my sharp book. So I'm just looking to see if any of these rec books kind of light up. DraftKings. Doesn't look like FanDuel's. I'm not showing odds here on these. Bally bet for Javante's. It's okay. Turpin looks pretty good on Camby. Yeah, not much from the main books. If I come over here, let's take a look. Gino is at plus 5,000. Not that great. So I would say that would be the one play I would maybe go after, which is Turpin. It's okay. It's not ideal, but this would, again, be only for your Camby sports books. And I'll just throw a little sprinkle on this one as well. They're giving me a boost on here. Nice. Little boosty boost. This would be huge for $10. All right, so I got this boost thanks to Bet Rivers. I'm getting this at plus 4250 odds for 10%. And again, it's first touchdown score, Turpin. So any Camby Sportsbook guys, that's where I would go grab that. Okay, there we go. Otherwise, guys, that's going to be it for right now. Got through a lot to get through moving forward, but we have a lot coming on the rest of this month, and looking to get back in the green. Got absolutely slaughtered. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off. Know that the process is good, guys. We're finding plays that have an edge. The coin doesn't flip our way, and for myself yesterday, it just didn't really flip at all my way. And I know it's coming back for me. Like, I took the best shot that the books gave me yesterday. I'm ready to go. And so just know that, guys, that days like yesterday, if you had something similar to me, it's not going to continue to happen for the next 5-6 days in a row. We'll be all right. Trust me. And it's going to work out for us. If that's the best, I got a whole second half of this month that we're just going to climb back on top. So I've dug myself out of holes before. We'll do it again, and stay tried and true with the process. Have an awesome Monday night, guys. I hope that if you had a rough day yesterday, today's the best day that you ever had sports betting. Smash the books, and if nothing else, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.